Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Friday, June 17th, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Public assistance for life for persons with permanent disabilities, HIV and cancer. COI members for 2020 elections to be named by Tuesday, says President Ali. Guyana lifts COVID testing requirement for international travel. Bus driver dies in HIVE accident. And use of drugs in Region 7 schools a concern for authorities. Now for the news in detail. Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, has announced that persons living with permanent disabilities, HIV, cancer, or any other lifelong incurable or untreatable disease will benefit from public assistance for life. Here is Shane Marks with a lead story tonight.
All persons, all living with permanent disabilities, will be able to access public assistance without any need to qualify, any means test. It's automatic access to public assistance. And secondly, that public assistance will be provided to them for the rest of their lives. They do not need to be subjected to any other medical or any other tests going forward.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, she noted that these measures will take immediate effect across the country.
It really puts much into the hands of persons who are living with disabilities. Of course, we'd like to put much more, but this is a step because no longer will people have to go before the local board of guardians who have public disabilities. It's automatic. All they have to do is to register with the National Commission of Disability, and the ministry provide their application and they're onto the public assistance register. This takes immediate effect right across the country, and it will include persons who are living with HIV and those who have cancer. So this follows on the announcement made by His Excellency President Irfan Ali, who announced a $100,000 cash grant to children who are living with disabilities. So whether you're a child or an adult, it captures the entire spectrum of disabilities, physical and mental as well.
This news follows President Dr. Irfan Ali's announcement of a one-off cash grant of $100,000 for every child living with a disability. President Ali had explained that his administration is cognizant of the hardships that parents and guardians of persons with disabilities, especially children, face. Dr. Prasad noted that the government and her ministry are committed to assisting the disabled community. To this end, she said that persons with disabilities across the country will also receive free support.
We want to ensure that those persons who are living with disability understand the government of Guyana's commitment to them. And from the Ministry of Human Services level, our personal commitment to all persons living with disabilities. This is in addition to us providing across the country free support aids to people who need them, be it wheelchair, white canes, hearing aids. These will be made available to persons living with disabilities at no cost.
Shane Marks, The Evening News.
In a move intended to better serve those in need, the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security today commissioned a $5 million wing at the night shelter located in La Penitence, Georgetown. Here is Shane Marks again with the details.
The Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, on Friday commissioned a new wing at the night shelter to the tune of $5 million.
This process took a little longer than I wanted it to take. But nevertheless, I'm happy to be here to officially open the additional wing of the night shelter. Since becoming the minister here, I came here very early, and this is one of the institutions that I was very passionate about ensuring that the conditions are improved, that the environment is conducive to your living comfortably. And so you would have seen the interior being upgraded within the night shelter. You would have seen your beds being improved, and there's more to happen in that direction. And of course, new mattresses, pillows, sheets, and overall, the exterior of the night shelter being upgraded. But today, we are opening a wing that will increase capacity, but will also be used to an extent for those coming in for the first time. so that we can have them screened to make sure that they're in good health and that they are able to receive any treatment that they require before being integrated with everyone else.
The new wing has been furnished with 120 beds and has an indoor bathroom for the occupants. In addition to the new wing, the minister also noted that the ministry is working on providing training for persons who occupy a night shelter.
We will be utilizing the existing training programs, the Board of Industrial Training, and also the WIN program, and in addition, special programs that will be done through the night shelter. And Ms. Veersamy has already submitted a proposal that will include things like therapy, mobility, and that falls under our disability program that we currently have. And there will also be other areas that persons, if they want to learn to sew, my intention is to put a few sewing machines in here so that they can learn to sew and other things like that.
Shane Marks, The Evening News.
The Guyana government has approved the recommendation for the private sector minimum wage to be raised up to $60,000 monthly. Rupert Sinarine has the details.
President Dr. Irfan Ali announced Cabinet's decision on Thursday during the Enmore Martyrs' Day observance.
That the Cabinet has agreed with the recommendation of the tripartite group, and we are in support of the minimum wage that is going to be established. That is a 60,000 minimum wage. So you are pushing at open doors. We are friends of the workers. We are not enemy of the workers. We want what is best for the workers. That is what we struggle for.
Recently, Labor Minister Joseph Hamilton was mandated to conduct consultations before presenting a paper to Cabinet. This was ordered by the President, who took into account the Private Sector Commission's views last December, agreeing on an increase to the national minimum wage from $44,200 to $60,000. Arising from that decision, the private sector's representatives on the National Tripartite Committee would have expressed their support for the improvement of the national minimum wage in January this year. Since taking office in August 2020, Minister Hamilton had announced the increase of the private sector minimum wage to $60,000. However, while an order to this effect was made, there was no timeline set for its enforcement. This was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact it had on businesses. When the country began opening up last year, these talks resumed. The Labor Minister had been re-engaging the private sector on enforcing these increases. Meanwhile, the public sector minimum wage currently stands at $70,000, and even with this increase for private sector workers, it would still be less. The private sector's minimum wage was last increased in 2017 from an hourly rate of $202 to $255, taking the monthly wage from $35,000 to $44,200. Rupa Sinarine, The Evening News.
President Dr. Irfan Ali has avowed that before dawn on Tuesday, he would announce the members who would comprise the Commission of Inquiry into the conduct of the 2020 general and regional elections, a period of relentless fight for democracy that arose from a spell of bizarre rigging attempts. Here is Rupert Sinarine again with the details.
President Dr. Irfan Ali informed on Thursday that members of the Commission of Inquiry who will spearhead the events of the March 2020 general and regional elections will be known by Tuesday.
We, particularly your President, promised an international COI. So I'd say to all those who struggled and sacrificed, all those who worked in protecting the democracy that we have, in your honor, before dawn on Tuesday, your President will name the members of that international COI. And those who subverted democracy, and those who cannot present their SOPs, and those who struggled against the will of the people, the COI will set the truth free from the untruth. And the COI will set those who dwell in the house of democracy against those who dwell in the fire of undemocratic rule and norms.
Following the prolonged elections and the associated controversies, the CARICOM scrutinizing team had recommended a political audit into the functioning of GCOM. President Ali had announced the COI, adding that persons governing this operation should be drawn from CARICOM, the Commonwealth, or the Organization of American States. Since last year, the president had indicated that his government was committed to identifying the individuals responsible in the rigging attempts and pinpointing possible areas of weakness that can be used to guide the required strengthening of Guyana's electoral system. This would be achieved through the inquiry, to which stakeholder consultations were facilitated to select appropriate persons. This week, GCOM chairperson retired Justice Claudette Singh reasoned that any review focused on investigating actual occurrences during the 2020 elections by the electoral body would be outside of its scope of power. She also contended that should the intention of a proposed review be to consider if there are in fact potential weaknesses in the processes employed by GCOM for the conduct of elections and to propose improved methods for future elections, then this can and should be undertaken. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
The Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union has reiterated calls for top executives of the Guyana Sugar Corporation to be removed over the company's continued low production. But President Dr. Irfaan Ali contends that stakeholders need to work collectively in order to see the industry return to a viable state. Here is Vanu Manikchan with the details.
At the commemoration ceremony of the Enmore martyrs on Thursday, GAU's president, C. Paul Narain, posited that while he is pleased with the government's tangible efforts to revitalize the sugar industry, he is simultaneously apprehensive about Gaisuku's recent production figures.
It simply was an appalling performance, the lowest for scrap output in the history of the corporation. We have heard the explanations of weather, labor, and machinery. Such rationales, we contend, are over-exemplified to obscure the real issue, which is poor leadership and management of the industry. Action must be taken as a matter of urgency. We cannot allow the slide to continue. As the saying goes, heads must roll. And this should start from the topmost executive.
In response, however, President Dr. Irfaan Ali posited that the successful management of the industry is dependent on not solely government, but of unions and other stakeholders.
I am not saying to you that management issue must not be addressed, but we need to have an honest conversation. And that is all I want. And in that honest conversation, the union have a place. The union have a place in this conversation. The success of the industry is not only about government and management, it's a collective effort of all of us who are part of the industry.
With the GAU head by his side, President Ali highlighted the challenges the industry has faced in the last 2 years and the conditions under which his administration took it over in 2020.
We are not here to fight the industry. It is this government that is finding billions of dollars to bring back this industry. It is this government that brings back the jobs. It is not this government that took away the 7,000 jobs. The direct and indirect loss to the industry was more than 30,000 jobs. We are going to support the sugar industry because we understand the social and economic value of the industry. We are going to work on restructuring the management and working with the management to strengthen their measures and policies to turn the industry around. But we need the union in this process also.
Only Tuesday, President Ali met with the top management of Gaisuku, including CEO Sesnarain Singh, during which he noted that it cannot be business as usual and stressed the need for them to be more effective, efficient, and results-driven in the ever-changing landscape. Reporting for the Evening News, Fanu Manakchand.
Coming up, use of drugs in Region 7 schools a concern for authorities, and New Amsterdam continues to face resistance in removing street vendors.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Mobile lubricants is more than just oil. It's many oils. The blends of oil give you higher mileage. Choose from your advanced synthetic blend or conventional. It is the best oil for your engine.
Mobile lubricant is the best oil for newer engineering of engines. Newer engines are much more close tolerance. Thus, this oil has a variety of grades and build-up properties to suit these engineering. Mobile lubricant keeps the engine oil seals in a uniform order and condition. Mobile lubricants withstands longer drain intervals. Why is this? Mobile lubricant has a very high detergent in its oil, and once fully synthetic oil is used, we can achieve this.
So, whatever is your engine needs, choose Mobile lubricants. Proven performance for your engine.
Get in the game, get in the game, get in the game with Buster, play.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, Xbox X Series. Just purchase any bottle of Buster, Turbo, Altitude, Classic or Viva and look for the code on the bottle. Then visit Buster Instagram and Facebook at Buster Guyana for more details.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's waste management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1150.
Here's what's happening on Waterloo Street at John Lewis Styles during the month of June. Shop for Father's Day and you could win an all-inclusive trip for two to Arrow Point Nature Resort. Buy any men's suit and get a free tie, or buy any men's pair of shoes and get a free pair of socks. Traveling this summer? Buy any luggage set and get a free travel pouch. Visit us on Waterloo Street for more choices and better prices. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvie's has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Welcome back, you're watching the Evening News. Guyana's Ministry of Health has announced the lifting of the COVID-19 testing requirement for the international travel effective June 18, 2022. Travelers 12 years and older are still required to be fully vaccinated for entry into the country. It was only about a week ago that the Biden administration announced that it was ending a requirement for airplane travelers to test negative for COVID-19 before entering the United States. A 79-year-old man was this morning struck down and killed by a minibus whilst he was walking along the Charity Public Road, Region 2, Pomeroon, Supernam. Dead is Chuman Lal, also known as Cyril of Adams Creek, Pomeroon River, Region 2. Reports are that the pensioner was walking along the roadway when the minibus struck him down. The elderly man was picked up in an unconscious state and rushed to the Charity Oscar Joseph Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Investigations are ongoing. A minibus driver who was allegedly speeding along the HIVE Public Road, East Coast, Demerara, is now dead after he lost control of the vehicle and it crashed into a nearby utility pole just after midnight last night. Dead is 42-year-old Romeo Mercado of Newton Zul, East Coast, Demerara. Reports are that Mercado was driving a minibus BYY 4603, which fell into a pothole and causing him to lose control of the vehicle. As a result, the bus crashed into a wooden post that was erected on the southern side of the road before ending up in a nearby trench. Public-spirited citizens extracted the driver from the minibus in an unconscious state and took him to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The usage of illegal drugs in schools is becoming a growing problem in the country, as these substances are becoming more easily accessible to youths. In Region 7, Cayuní-Mazaruni, the authorities are grappling with this problem. Amar Prasad tells us more.
Commander of Regional Division 7, Superintendent Dion Moore, on a recent episode of the Guyana Police Force program, Police and You, revealed that they have received complaints of school children who are allegedly using illegal substances.
But we recognize that the children, for some reason or the other, we've been getting complaints that some of them are engaged in the use, maybe, drugs, and involved in other types of behavior that are unwarranted. We are not sure whether it is a fact, but it's something that we will be working on. As recent as yesterday, I had a discourse with the regional education officer, and she gave the undertaking that she welcomed the initiative and she will work with us. So sometime next week we'll be visiting one of those schools. Schools have already been identified.
The commander said that if it is found that the youths are engaged in the use of drugs, the police will have to take action. He also encouraged parents to pay closer attention to the behavior of their children.
We'll visit to check it out first, see if it's a fact, and then we'll do a sensitization program with them to allow them to understand the dangers. Equally, we will commence the day program with the school, some children of that school. The use of narcotics, the first thing, it's illegal. And as parents, monitor your child's behavior. If for any reason you recognize that your child is behaving differently, start checking on that child. Monitor the manner in which they go to school. As soon as and it goes as far as even to looking at how the grades are going. As long as you see they have been absenting, that the grades are going differently, then something is amiss. It may not necessarily mean that that child is involved in the use of drugs. It might be other things. But in everything you do, there is always something called a domino effect. One hit the other, and the other hit the other. Equally, as a police, it is always better for us to guide the children.
The commander went on to explain that due to the many ports of entry into the region, Despite the various preventative measures by the police, these illegal substances somehow find a way into the communities. Commander Moore also issued a stern warning to persons who are luring these minors into the use of drugs.
I'll be happy to catch those persons who are luring children into the use of drugs. What I want to say to them, that they are endangering their lives and putting the children at risk by luring them into using drugs and committing other acts that are not allowed in society, not allowed by law. And they are equally guilty of the same offense, and they can be punished and will be punished once they are caught. They should desist.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
United States oil giant ExxonMobil is looking to ramp up production on the Liza Unity floating production, storage and offloading vessel 4 months after startup, with the aim of realizing its full capacity of 220,000 barrels per day by the third quarter of this year. More in this Vanu Manichan report.
ExxonMobil Guyana will be starting up additional new wells in order to bring the Liza Unity FPSO to full production capacity of 220,000 barrels per day during the 2022 third quarter. This is after the oil major safely commissioned the gas compression and injection systems on the Liza Unity in around half the normal industry time, thus achieving background flare as designed and within the 60-day period outlined in the Liza Phase 2 environmental permit. According to the oil company, the startup period involved temporary non-routine flaring to safely commission the production and gas compression systems. Operations Manager Mike Ryan lauded the team's efforts in achieving these milestones.
It's a phenomenal achievement, dedication by the team to ensure that we meet that commitment and deliver on our environmental expectations to ourselves and to the country of Guyana.
According to Ryan, Exxon's main focus has been on achieving background flare and near full reinjection or utilization of the gas.
The Liza Unity FPSO is injecting and compressing or utilizing 99.8% of the gas from the reservoir. And when we introduce hydrocarbons to the facility, we need to use that gas in order to commission the gas handling systems. And that has always been our main focus, to commission that system in order to get the background flare. And I'm so pleased and so proud that we have achieved background flare in April of 2022. And in fact, we did it in record time.
After arriving in Guyana's water last October, production on the Liza Unity FPSO vessel commenced in February this year, and first oil was achieved that same month. The Guyana government received its first lift from the FPSO in April and sold it for US $106 million. Liza Unity is the second FPSO producing oil offshore Guyana, where Exxon estimates there are almost 11 billion oil equivalent barrels in the Stabroek Block alone. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
A new headquarters for the Guyana Revenue Authority will be constructed at Ogle, East Coast Demerara, a location which Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo says will be more accessible to the populace. Amar Prasad has the details.
A swathe of land at Pattinson, East Coast Demerara, was initially earmarked for the construction of a new and modern headquarters of the Guyana Revenue Authority, which is currently housed at Camp Street, Georgetown. During a press conference on Wednesday, Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo confirmed that 3 new hotels will now be built on the land, while the new GRA headquarters will be developed at Ogle.
The idea is to put the hotels there around the convention center. And then the GRA goes out a little bit further, which would give easy access to people who have to get the services.
The land at Pattinson Land has since been transferred to hotel developer Pasha Global, but no further information was disclosed on the reason for this decision. However, the Vice President argued that this was a conscious decision and will not in any way deprive the GRA. He further reasoned that the new GRA headquarters will be closer to the Ogle 4-lane highway, making it more accessible for the population.
We are now building this infrastructure in a way where you come across the bridge, you have a 4-lane road going to Parika. They're already upgrading the road to go to the Wills, to the gas to energy project. You have a bypass into Crane. Come across the bridge, you then come in 12 lanes coming into the city. We said that in the future, to make sure that people from the west, from Region 3, the East Bank, and the East Coast all have easy, and then Georgetown, all have easy access to the GRA, that along the 4-lane road, which we just started, that is where, in the Ogle area, that is where the new GRA headquarters will go.
Meanwhile, Jagdeo revealed that the hotels will be constructed by Pasha Global, a Barbadian company, and the US-based Guyanese. Some 2,000 persons are expected to be employed.
So that is the idea. It's not to take away no land from GRA, but the government services have to be done in a manner where they're accessible to the majority of our people, and they should not occupy all the prime properties in the country. You have to utilize those to create other employment opportunities, to build out our hotels. We need 2,000 to 3,000 rooms to host a proper convention.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
An age-old issue regarding illegal street vending continues to be a major concern in New Amsterdam, Region 6. Minister within the Ministry of Local Government, Anand Prasad, recently admonished the municipality to get rid of vending along the road shoulders. However, over the years, efforts to do so continue to be met with resistance. Our Berbice correspondent, Andrew Carmichael, reports.
While acknowledging that persons have a right to earn a living, Minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Anand Prasad, says the activities of some street vendors adversely affect legitimate business operators.
And these businessmen, I am pretty sure, learned from what happened in Georgetown, where a few businesses took the mayor city council and the judge ruled that they must remove from the pavement and in front of the stores of businesses. Do not let that happen here, because the council might be ended up spending millions of dollars in legal advice and for representation in courts, and you may hardly have any money left to do anything in your township.
Vendors in the New Amsterdam Municipal Market have been complaining of unfair competition being posed by those who sell fruits and vegetables on makeshift stalls situated around the town. In fact, they have held meetings with town council officials explaining that customers are now reluctant to go into the municipal market to shop because the same items are being offered on the street by vendors who do not have to pay market fees. Town Clerk Sharon Alexander, during a recent engagement with the Minister Prasad, said there is plenty of space in the market, but the street vendors are reluctant to move. Councillor Olga Stevens pointed out that the municipality has been trying to remove the street vendors, but their efforts are unsuccessful.
Now, everybody has to make a living. But what we're saying, and we've been trying, and then we're in court all, trying to remove people with the street vending, and we're getting a licking.
The last exercise we had, removing vendors, they went to the chairman, and then we had one escalation where they continued to sell because they said chairman said it's okay for them to sell. And that's where we end up being in the state that we're in. But after having the court's ruling, council would have met with the market association, because their cry is that everybody's out in the streets, so they might as well go out there too and close down the market.
Some of the street vendors say they are willing to go into the market, but only if the council is successful in removing all of the street vendors. One vendor, Dharmendra Chandrakant, told the Evening News that he has been rightfully vending at the pave at Main Street and Lad Lane. He showed this newscast a copy of a letter from the proprietor giving him permission to vend in front of his property. He also showed a business registration for that address.
And now people come from all the way from the market side and buy here too. They leave the market and come by here. I don't know what the reason, but People all about from the town clerk to the people who works at the town clerk office come and buy things here. People from GT&T come and buy stuff all over here. You know, I know ladies in the GT, they are customer, come still here and buy from us.
What has the council been telling you?
The council tell us that we got to move out from the roadside, move back inside. So we tell them we on the private property.
Like Chandrika Khan, other vendors have received notices from the municipality indicating that it is a contravention of the Municipal District Act Chapter 2801, pointing out that it is unlawful to place any cart, carriage or other vehicle in any public street, place or thoroughfare of the town or any dam, road, slope or parapet. The town clerk says they are not giving up.
It is expected that when we start the exercise, we receive full collaboration with the RDC so that we could bring some order back to the town in relation to roadside vendors. We are currently in the process of setting up a night market, like Councilor said, so there will be options for persons who would like to get out.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, June 18th at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berries River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Saturday, June 18th at 7 hours 15 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Sammy excited to start new role as St. Lucia Kings head coach, and Guyana Amateur Basketball Federation to withdraw under 15 national team from FIBA Central Basket in Puerto Rico. Details of these stories and more in the Sportscast sponsored by Macorp coming up on the other side of the break.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Try our virtual sports and win big with so much matches to choose from. Betting starts at $100. Play for your chance to win. Log on to www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents to place your bets. Terms and conditions apply. Have fun and play responsibly. Must be 18 and over to play.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Over the years, ISG has been providing all sectors across Guyana with quality products and outstanding customer service. Proud distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, engineered for tropical conditions. International trucks and parts, leading the change. SEM Machinery, a Caterpillar brand. SKF bearings and mounted products. Napa batteries. Tide power generators. Discover the greatest source of power. Industrial Supply of Guyana Inc. The best opportunity to make the right choice.